Hello everybody all over the world. Hello, and why are you not wearing pants? You think I don't see that? You're sitting there with your sweaty ass, sweaty heat, just sweating everywhere. You're probably not even wearing a shirt. It's not how webcasts work, but I know you. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the GRU and Eviction Notice today for the heavy. So it's these kind of weapons here. The run makes you run faster, lose health, makes you run not as fast, and lose health slower. And they're a bit different. This one has a whole string penalty that we can circumvent by just switching through another weapon. And this one doesn't. However, this one makes you run faster. So if you look in the top right corner, you will see the velocity. So you run at 299. Regular speed is 300 for other classes. Of course, you can see my health is at 100, and when I switch, it goes back up. So basically, it works like this. After the nerf, you use it, and then you drain your health, and then you get your health back. So if you take a look at the Eviction Notice, it works the same. However, you run at the 264. However, if you punch somebody, you run at 370. That makes you able to catch up with these guys and punch them, and this lasts way longer than the hot hand buff. And also there's like this little glitch thing that happens, because if you do like this, like switch down your health to the lowest like this and then eat like a chocolate bar, it does something weird to your health where it like increases the max health you have while running. I guess this is like a remnant bug of something, or maybe it's just a feature with the 50 extra health that you get. But basically it's weird, to put it like this. So we're just gonna see how these weapons stacks together. Primarily people were preferring the GRU over the Eviction Notice, and we'll see that in just a bit. So first, let me just grab my trusted freaking whiteboard with the answers to everything you may wonder about these two weapons. So here we go. You can see the reflection of stuff. So let's look at the GRU first. So you run faster. That's a good thing. Minus thing is that it drains faster, so your health is drained a lot faster, right? But then you also regenerate your health faster. This is a very important point. I mean, you both run faster and you drain faster, but you also regen it faster. And then it has slower hold string, which we can negate by just going through the sandwich or shotgun and then rotating through. If you want more information on that, be sure to check out the Family of Fists strategy. And of course, you have the Eviction Notice, which is slower speed, drains. A positive thing is that it drains regen slower, but you also regenerate it slower, and we'll see how that plays in later. And then it has a boost on hit bonus, which is probably the only redeeming factor about this weapon, because it's been through a lot of changes and stuff, and we'll see exactly just how that works. So with that, we are going to look at the introduction demo here, and it's going to be Inner Peace, and he does not care about health reduction at all. He's like, don't care about that stuff, do we? Yes. Cool. So we're just waiting for the demo to load, I guess. There we go. So I hope you guys are ready for some knowledge. And everyone in chat's like, I prefer GRU. It's like, yeah, there's a reason for that. We'll get to that in a little bit. So we'll look at that actually right after this one. So this is Inner Peace. He's using the gloves are running urgently. Here he is, a heavy here on upward. There was a lot of demos today, and a lot of them were not that essential for gloves are running urgently or the Eviction Notice. So he's trying to punch this guy's probably a spy. If it acts like a spy and moves like a spy, it's probably a spy. Kills him. And then he goes with his medic, and then he just switches fast to have low health for some reason. Maybe it helps with building, maybe it doesn't, who cares? But then you can see that we have the greatest downside negator of all. We actually have Uber. Comes in. He has very low health. So there. Uber can totally negate any kind of downside you have with running with this weapon. So I wanted to show this before we actually went into the first demo because I forgot, but we'll take it now. So this is actually a comparison between the different weapons. So in the middle here, this is just regular, no Eviction Notice or GRU. This is Eviction Notice, this is the GRU, and this is on Granary running out, like a rollout. So you can see when you roll out, they start at the exact same time, and you can see that the GRU is cutting ahead. Like you can see the GRU is here on this box, and you can see this guy is by far the slowest. However, we were going for a build where we don't have medic to heal us, and we want full health when we return to the middle point. Let's see, can I... Oh, it's on the wrong screen. Damn it. All right, fine, we'll just have to watch it this way. So you can see here, if you go back a little bit, this is around the point where you want to switch to have full health with the GRU to get your full health back. So here you can see the GRU switches, and you can see that the Eviction Notice switches a bit later. And then we run back to the point, and there was I stopped the timer at when you round this corner. So you can see here, the GRU has 300 health. You can see the distance of where the Eviction Notice would be slower. Right now the GRU is here. Although, when you arrive with the Eviction Notice, you actually have less health than you did with the GRU. Which is why the Eviction Notice sucks, because the main issue with it is that it drains slower, but it doesn't regenerate faster. So it's the same ratio, which means you spend more time getting your health back anyway, and you spend more time getting there as opposed to the more efficient... Eviction gloves running urgently. So in comparison to just running normally, here we have, let's see, this is on 26 seconds. That's when GRU arrives, and then on 28, oh wait, 27. So a second later, or 1 or 2 seconds later, depending on the map, is when the Eviction Notice comes, and then the regular guy isn't that much slower. You can see that he runs the corner around here, like on 31 seconds, 21. So it's like 5 seconds difference. However, if we take a look at the comparison when it's just, you just have to get there the fastest, right? Just the fastest. You don't care about health conserving. So here we go. I'm just going to fast forward. Just going to lag it through here because I didn't render this because I have to go back and forth and show this. And you can see quite a big difference here in where you are when you see that the GRU is actually here. GRU arrives at 100 health around this area, so at 23 seconds, that's when the GRU arrives. And then the Eviction Notice arrives with 148 health just a couple of seconds later, so 26 seconds. So yeah, 3 seconds later. But then 3 seconds later than that again, the regular guy appears, not running anything. So it's actually, you're talking about 6 seconds total. And sometimes, due to how the game works with how arriving to a battle works, if you're a heavy and you're the first to arrive and you're playing against like competent players who play like the faster classes like Scout and Soldier and stuff, they're already going to be there and you're already the biggest, fastest target. Not fastest, I mean fattest target, and you only have 100 health, so you're gonna die like super slow or super fast. It's better to just arrive slow sometimes, which is what I've done. Like using the GRU is like deceptively good. Anyway, here we have an actual example, because here I'm running out of spawn with the Eviction Notice, and this other guy is running with the gloves running urgently. Now he's not running 100% effective, but you can see that his health is draining a lot faster than mine. So he has switched now. He has 231 health, and he's just running normally, and you can see it's actually not that much faster. We arrive at this point in time, and now he has a lot more health than me. Doesn't really matter, but just goes to show that the GRU for moving is just better. This medic absolutely did not want my sandwich whatsoever. He's decided to nope out of that one. So it's just minor differences. Here we're just kind of hanging around and forward. Medic is busy being elsewhere, so I need health and waiting for my sandwich to come back. Right here, banana would have been better. Here we go, jumping down on the cart. Start to push forward, and then we die. Right. So hopefully this gives you a little incentive in the differences between the two. So now we'll go in and examine some different plays from different players. Let's see here. There we go. So sometimes there's also this weird bug where sometimes using the gloves running urgently removes overheal and other times it doesn't. Alright, so this is going to be a Cliff Puncher, and this is going to be a time when you don't steal overheal when you're using it. So I guess it has to do with the health reduction mechanic and the way overheal works or something like that. So just be clear that sometimes he can completely remove your overheal just by pressing the button. So there he is, going in with Kermit to frag, using gloves running early to gain some ground, jumping at the end to get that last momentum. Cliff Puncher here, getting a bunch of kills. There we go. That's a spy. Taking out the teleporter. Nice work. Taking out another spy. And then he's gonna run forward. You can see you lose overheal and health whenever you switch. Now the medic isn't here anymore. Keeps on running forward, keep occupying that space. Switches a little bit. You can see that his health is back to 300. It actually goes up to 301 for a split second before it goes back down again. He's just mowing through the enemies. AFK players are the easiest to kill because they don't move or shoot back. And then he gets stabbed. And people are reminiscing the time where we had infinite health bug with the Lucas bar and gloves running urgently. Because that was... If you ever wanted to be feeling like a last boss, with just like an insanely large health pool, that would be the way to go. So this is going to be unreasonable behavior with the Lucas bar, and he switches down to minimum health and then uses this because he wants to have increased minimum health while running for some reason. And here he is running. Maybe I should do this so it doesn't distract you in the corner. And you can see that he's running with 283 health. Up with the Lucas bar. This is a little trick that I showed you in the beginning that you can use. It seems very weird. So it's going to go for the intel because that's the point of the map. I mean, if you want to get featured in the episode and you're wondering if you're not going to get featured or not, just do the objective. There's a higher chance of you getting featured than if you don't. So then he just eats it in the corner here. Sees the sniper, punches him in the face. Runs back with this, looking up to not get headshot. So there we go. The Lucas bar running with the 257 health. That is actually pretty good. 282 now. You can see you can abuse this with the Lucas bar if you're just smart about it. It's slowly going up. There you go. He eats it once again. He's at full health, and now they get crits. And this demo decided to stop swinging at him for some reason. Now we can run in and punch this guy and punch out a lot of guys and die. So unreasonable behavior shows that you can do the bug, glitch, whatever with the Lucas bar just fine and run around slightly faster than normal and have close to 300 health. I'm not sure how it works with medics and overheal, if it like resets or something. I haven't done testing like that. So speaking of before, we had that Cliff Puncher had that it didn't steal overheal. Well, in this time, it will steal the overheal, and he isn't really doing anything different. Maybe it has something to do if the medic's heal beam is still attached or something. I don't know. Anyway, throws the banana to his medic friend. He has 450 health. There we go. Just keep in mind. There we go. And
what?
Wait. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold the phone. Hold the phone, guys. What just happened? Let's slow that down again, and let's see exactly what happened. So here he is, and I think his medic, his medic disconnects from him. So yeah, the medic isn't there, so he isn't following him. So he goes up here, switches to this, so he should have some overheal.
What?
So apparently if the medic isn't healing you, and you switch away and then back to them again, instead of just taking off some health, it just removes overheal completely. I guess that has to do with the fix that they did with like the infinite health bug or something like that. So beware that it is glitchy and you can screw you over. But luckily he had 3 health left, and then he's gonna go back, eat a banana, and then be in pretty good shape as a heavy. So while it isn't the best on defense, it can definitely work. However, it's usually Fists of Steel are the better choice for heavy there. But you can use it to just navigate it for a little bit. And I feel like that's the strongest strengths about both the Eviction Notice and the Gloves for Running Urgently, is that you can quickly reposition yourself to escape stuff that you normally couldn't. All right, so let's see. His medic is no longer with him, and now it didn't take away the overheal for some reason. All right, cool, fine, whatever. Pff, consistency, who needs that? Well, we have a full Uber. Oh, die! Rapapapapapapam. It's Cliff Puncher up with a 12 kill streak, and now with the crit streak to finish it off. We will be seeing some crazy sprees here, where it's basically just a heavy and a medic killing the entire enemy team, and that's absolutely a thing that can happen, because if you have shit positioning or you play a class that sucks or you're not good at, a heavy and medic combo will kill you. As you can see here, as he clarifies for Tryhard Tuesday with a 20 kill streak. Pretty insane stuff, but then when you look at what the opponents were doing, they were coming at him one at the time, not focusing his medic first. And then just dying. Because heavy is the class that punishes you for being out of position or playing badly. So if you keep getting killed by a heavy, you're either out of position or you're playing badly, or both. But it isn't a HiGPS episode. Instead, we're going to Asia, or somewhere where they have Korean, Chinese, and Japanese all in one game. This is none other than Demonized Life. He's going forward here, going down in the basement, killing a spy. He's going to be using this to run across, maybe doing a bit in the sewers, because this is where you want to hang out, obviously. He's just going past, using the gloves running urgently to take the longest possible route he can to get to the enemy base, and then he's going to eat the Delucus bar, and we can do the trick thing, and there's a friendly heavy here for some reason. Okay, sure, this is 2-4, who cares? Alright, there we go, and another heavy here, you can have the chocolate. The other heavy doesn't want to give a banana. We're pretty low in health. Oh, there's a sentry! But we take it out, yes, because this is the heavy battalion. Strike force on 2-4, it's no mercy. As he makes up the back troop and he throws that to the guy. He picks up this, because this can also happen. It only happens sometimes where you just get 1 health stuff. So as you can see, Demonized Life has been very active with just using the gloves running urgently, and he currently has 100 health, and that is a sentry, and that is what we call a quadruple rocket. Equals you're fucking dead. So that's one downside when using this as the old ones, where you just kind of, or like the power jack, where you just constantly switch to it, is that your health is actually going to be less of a scout, and you are many a times wider and thicker than any scout. So this is Amadeus, and this is one of those demos where he just kind of kills everyone and they win. So here he is with his medic with the vaccinator. Princess Caw! Larger than 3. So he's just going forward, trying to throw a sandwich, switches out, or just throws a sandwich near to the health pack. He has vaccinator bullet resist, that means he's taking reduced damage, and as you can see, the enemy team consists of 5 players. So when you have 5 players and 3 of them are snipers that can't shoot, you're gonna have a very bad time when you might consider, this heavy is absolutely pushing the shit back into us. Maybe we should do something different. And the guy playing sniper goes, I'll play spy. Along with his 4 other guys. There's no way this can fail. So then jumps forward, and this guy's like, Huntsman, Cozy Camper is what I need to defeat this heavy. And then Amadeus gets random crits and kills him. And another Huntsman didn't work. And then this medic, out of position, gets killed. And please note that there's none of the defenders that gets by Amadeus here. So that means his team is just pushing the carts all by himself, while he and the medic is just kind of hanging out here. So he decides to just eat this while the medic builds a vaccinator. That's up here on this heavy what's shooting the spawn door for whatever reason. And now, oh, that's a spy. Well, you're dead. You probably waited until now would have been a good time to go and stab him. And then, of course, he kills this guy, just kind of hanging out in the spawn here. And, yeah, scout doesn't work. So how How on earth do we break this predicament, this unstoppable strategy of a heavy outside our door? And the answer is Demo Man or Soldier. Just do that and shoot him. Oh, here we have a soldier actually notices. And you can see the soldier's actually doing some damage to the medic there. And actually took him down to half health. And now they actually have to back him. He almost kills them. And yeah, you can see that one soldier took him down to 37 health and hurt his medic pretty badly. If some of those, you know, fucklords, snipers, spy useless assholes went soldier as well, they would have killed him. But did they? No, because they were very busy maining spy, because that's something you'll do. Alright, so they have captured, so now the spawn is here, and of course this guy, having learned absolutely nothing, just runs into the heavy, and this spy decides to run in front of where he's shooting the bullets, even though he is loudly shooting bullets and you can see where he's going. You just have to not go right in front of the heavy. What does he do? He walks right in front of the heavy. So now we're actually coming back to the spawn. These poor engineers like, I can't even fill a mini sentry. And then of course they realize that the counter to a heavy with vaccinator with bullet resist is just to go heavy and get absolutely trashed. So we have basically moved from the start of the game to the end of the game. Oh, there's that spy again. At least he showed him that he wasn't a spy by holding the zapper. And here comes the, oh, a Demo Man's pretty good, right? And then there's, oh, well, yep, sniper didn't work. And there's that, at least that somehow doesn't know where he is, and he kills both of them. And oh my god, what is the red team doing? The red team's like GG giving up. They can't stop this one unstoppable combination of just pure power and, oh shit! Oh shit! What's that? Just hitting them from behind and using some kind of brain to deal with this? Kill the medic in just like 2 bombs? Holy shit, who would have ever thought of that? But it's a little too late because the cart's like already here and Amadeus just kind of runs down and goes on the cart and then they push it in the hole and they win. And then he has like 42 points and he killed like nearly the entire team by himself, and the other teams, well, I guess our double sniper, single spy out of 5 teammates was really bad. So instead of switching, just leave the game. Just leave the. That's how you get good, you know. So for like for you watching now, if this has ever happened to you, you know how to deal with this. Just go Demo Man or Soldier and just shoot the guy in the back, and then they won't have the sustain. But if you keep running up to them as spy, holding your zapper undisguised, you're not gonna do much. But he used the gloves running urgently to great effect. Small stretches, long stretches, having heals definitely works well with that. So next up is Karma's camera, and he's gonna be playing on a map that I don't understand while people play. It's gonna be CP Blackness. As you can see, it's completely black. Let's see this. Yeah, there we go. It's Koth King, and he's actually gonna be doing the objective. He's actually using the Eviction Notice as well. So we're just gonna see how that factors into his play. He doesn't have a medic to help him. Also has the sandwich, he heals himself back up, and then he goes on to just pressure the point. He's not a coward that hides in the chokes, he just gets his fat ass on the point and stays there. And there's also a sniper, so you gotta be careful about that because there's not a whole lot of pressure being applied. So he uses something called cover, which is like the best thing to avoid getting sniped. A lot of videos on how to counter snipers don't actually mention this fact. You can just kind of just take cover and then he can't shoot you. And then he's retreating a bit, losing a little bit of his health there, but he's gonna go and grab this and slowly regenerate his health as he moves his ass back to the point. Neither team has capped at this point in time, but random crits are fair when we get them and a scout kill when we only get the assist. But then a scout also shoots us and knocks us about, and his team needs to stand on the point, but they're distracted like a bunch of moths to the fire, which is elsewhere. And finally they're going to capture and do the objective. If it looks like a spy and moves like a spy, it's a sniper that's clueless and don't know how to play. More people need to be aware of the handshakes that you do. With Karma's camera here, barely gonna be escaping again. His sandwich is almost ready. Probably would have been better for the banana at this point in time. Sure, it doesn't heal as much, but with the Eviction Notice, you're always gonna have less health anyway, so works pretty well. I found that Eviction Notice works best with banana when you're kind of solo playing and you don't have a lot of health back at your disposal. and then you die, so. But some okay plays there. We saw some minor stretches working there. I don't think the results would have been too different if you'd used gloves running urgently as well. So in some situations, it hardly doesn't matter, such as that one. So yes, this is Envy, and he's going to be a bit of a flanker heavy here on the map that is Harvest. Oh, there's a heavy there, and oh, look at this cover, counters the Brass Beast. And then, of course, doing that also works. And he's just gonna go and defend it, and then he goes on the flank here. He's losing quite a bit of health, but then he unequips it. Keep in mind that he has slower holstering time, but you can completely negate that by rolling through a secondary weapon. Check the Family of Fists video. As mentioned before, there's probably scripts you can use to negate this as well. Here he's just on the point with the rest of his team. And then he has a little banana behind the point, because that is a flanker heavy's best friend. Some potassium to help the killing. And Envy has to get out of there, but now look at that. Banana's ready again, but he doesn't decide to eat it just now. He's going to grab this health kit, run into the spy who's like, nope! And then he gets out of there, which is the great strategy. Other spies should use that. If it doesn't work, run. Then he's kills his heavy that isn't paying attention, kills his medic, and kind of captures the point again. And low on health, and another victory banana behind the point. It's important to, reward yourself when you've been doing good. When you've been working out, don't reward yourself with cake or cola, just reward yourself with a nice banana. Like Envy here. And he jumps down and wins. So it can work great on the flanks when you're just running around kind of by yourself doing your thing. Next up is going to be Taka, who we haven't seen demo in a while. I didn't know you still played TF2. And then I remembered you only play heavy, and he's going to be using it on defense. So I found that the gloves running urgently are best when you are kind of on offense, when you have to run stretches or you're defending, King of the Hill, 5 CP. Not so much defense, because most people tend to favor the Fists of Steel. But you'll see here that he's using it very sparsely. He's not using it a lot like the other guy on 2-Fort that was just switching to it at every possible moment, because most of the times you don't really have to. And there's also 2 health back on top here, so it's a great place to just hold in general as a heavy. Especially in pubs, like if you're looking for Highlander tips, this is not the channel for you. So then Taka kind of just hangs out at the top here. Just looks and see, occupying the space is important because this is a vital strategic operation to overtake. So then he sees the Kurtz moving forward, checking his back a lot because he knows that they're spies. Demo man out of position, he's able to get away because he's a Taka. How's your aim? Looks bad. And then instead of eating the sandwich, he runs a bit further and then eats the sandwich back to full health, and then you can use this tiny health pack to replenish the sandwich just like that. A little pro tip. Keep in mind that if you time it correctly, you can run and rev up the Natasha or the Tomislav repeatedly without using any movement speed, which is exactly what Taka is doing. Works pretty great. Can't really chase the scout, but the scout's also no threat to us. Also, the cart's getting dangerously close here, so you might want to give up that high ground to stop the capture, which is exactly what he does. Cleans this up, and then he looks around and he sees. He should probably be like, okay, is my team actually protecting the cart? And the answer is no. They're very busy following the guy with the hands made of bread, because that is infinitely more interesting than some dumb payload. And as he gets to the top here, we'll see that the other team is soon going to be able to push the cart, I think, if I remember correctly. Or not, the cart's just going to go backwards. So he picks up the sandwich again, and they're pushing the cart slowly, and then they captured it. So the super ground defense wasn't actually a super ground defense. He was just kind of there, and now they're moving forward, and now he's behind. Kind of had to stay back here. So he's careful to eat this, pick up the ammo pack to replenish his sandwich. The greatest strategy in all of Russia. You can turn little medipack into sandwiches. Great tool for curing hunger. Just get a bunch of heavies with sandwich, and then you can poop out as many sandwiches as you want. We call it the True Slavic Sandwich Dispensary. So there we go, and takes out the teleporter. You can see that he hasn't really used the gloves running urgently all that much because he doesn't really have to. So he's chasing this engineer, and of course gets absolutely overrun with people with health and bigger movement and stuff like that. But overall, pretty solid defense stuff, and he would probably had similar results if he'd used any other melee unlock. It wasn't like a make or break decision, but he did use it in the correct spot, and he didn't overuse them, so he was never really caught at a bad spot with low health. This is Surprise, and he's going to be using a lot of the old jump tech, which is like you jump like that to get a bit of more momentum, and then he switches a lot to these, to the gloves running earnestly, and actually helps bring his health down by a lot. So don't do this, right? Because you haven't even left spawn, and you've taken like a body shot by a sniper, right? So that's never good. So you saw Kritzkrieg Heavy that unspun and then spun himself up again, and they clean up some house. He's got to run back into spawn, switches to the gloves running earnestly. Surprise, using the jump tech a bit too much. You're using the first iteration of the gloves running urgently, which basically just took -6 health off of you, but could be negated by just skipping around. And there we go. It's gonna go on the high ground. There he is, back to full health. Switches it down a little bit. Takes out the spy. Good heavy stuff. This pyro dies. Everything is going up Surprise's place. And a sentry that is in the process of upgrading. Oh, that is the worst possible timing someone can come to your sentry nest. And he is doing some damage here. Long range, pretending to be a sniper. That's all well and good. Shooting sticks. Oh, there's a sniper there, so time to lag a bit. And oh, there's a heavy. Oh, he switched. Dude. It's like you've taken a rocket without even taking a rocket. Alright, so health is slowly ticking up. He sees that pyro, and there's the sniper. Oh, dangerous pans are dangerous. Switches. You see, he switches to the gloves running urgently way too much. He's been very lucky that there hasn't been like a bomber that has killed him, because he is really hurting himself a lot here. Finally gets on up top, picks up the little ammo kit that we see in the corner. Runs into this sniper. Dominating.
I am going to kill you and kill you and kill you.
Wise words from a fat man. Going to kill you and kill you and kill you. Only in this game does that make sense. Denies that soldier. So weak. Oh, switches to this, and then he runs, and look at the amount of health he doesn't have. So he eats a banana, and then he goes back up again. Yeah. Shooting the soldier. Still just occupying the space. I'm not sure why they have this duel, because the cart's way further ahead there. I think the soldier also bailed. No, he's still here. And then he kills him. Anti-2. Oh, I remember that. That guy's pretty good. I remember that name. So we saw Surprise using a bunch of the jump techs. Works if you do it once. If you do it more than once, then in a very short amount of time, you can get heavily punished for it. Like we saw with the guy who ran into a sentry with like 98 health as a heavy. So that was all the users submitted ones. Thank you all for submitting. It was mostly just GRU replay. So here it is, me actually using the Eviction Notice to gain some speed in something that isn't memey or gimmicky. So I think in this game there was also a lot of enemy spies that were kind of good, because my team acted like a bunch of spies, which made their jobs infinitely easier. So here on upward, we're just gonna push them forward. Switching to this here. Switching back just for a little speed boost. Switching it again, and here we have an... Oh, target! Punch, 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 punch. Okay, we have the speed boost. We use that to reposition ourselves, and now we're a bit further ahead. Oh, okay. So we have Uber. It's being flashed. Forgot to do the jump tech. That's fine. We punched the pyro. Get the speed boost. That was... It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I did it. Then it didn't matter. When will it ever matter? Maybe if I have the shotgun, it will matter, but the Tommy's life's better. Oh, shit! And then you try to escape, and you die! Maybe if I don't think whatever I tried, I would have died there. So also I was hoping we'd see a lot more 5 CP maps, but we didn't, because people don't play that for some reason, even though some of those maps are fun. This is Freight. It's probably not the best map, but it's a map that is quite good with the GRU for heavy. So now I am using the GRU after many failed attempts on using the Eviction Notice. And then you see I switch it when I get to this point here to regain my health. So there we go. And I'm gonna throw this next to this, replenish the health pack, because a thrown sandwich stays on the ground for 30 seconds while a health pack respawns every 10. So that means at some point some people will have 2 health packs, which is essentially the same as a large health pack, 2 medium ones that is. So here we are ready to push. I have Spee with me here. He's taking some damage. So I just want to make sure that everything is clear before I throw him a sandwich and we start to capture. It's a spy. We've seen a lot of suspicious player here, but this is also a great spot for using the GRU where you just run up and you're like, out of the way, punch, punch, get on the point. Fast as fuck. We also have like the conch, which was super fast, so it's kind of redundant. So you just go in, kill everything, and then it's a victory for us. Cool. So that was going to conclude the Eviction Notice versus GRU episode. So far I would say that the Eviction Notice is not as good as the GRU, mainly because its main problem is that you regen the health back at the same rate as you lose it, and just overall effectiveness and distance covered and health returned is a lot greater for the GRU. So if you're going to use the Eviction Notice, you have to get a punch in and use the speed for something greater. And keep in mind that speed is faster than the GRU, and you will be able to chase classes. I think you will be able to chase medics actually, but not scouts, maybe. I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter, so I would like to see that as a change. So coming up next Wednesday is going to be the Bonk episode, so you have to play Scout and then play with the Bonk, and then that's it, because we're doing two shows a week just to hammer these out as quickly as possible. I'm gonna see what we're gonna be figuring out to do next week. It's going to be a lot of scouts, so we might as well just get right into it. So it's going to be the Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. That is the next Sunday. So there's going to be 2 scout episodes in a row, and then we'll do something different and stuff like that. So next Wednesday, or first coming Wednesday, Bonk. Next Sunday, it's going to be the Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. I got quite a substantial nerf. So be sure to follow me on Twitter, join the Steam group, join the Discord, join the raffle that is in the description or in the chat very soon. And thank you guys for watching, and please, for the love of God, put on some pants.